just finished writing a new blog post all about my kids, an update on anxiety, depression, and the situation that we are in right now. It's not an easy road to go through, and I put it in a blog post because it's a little bit heavier. It's easier for me to sort out my thoughts in that regard. So definitely take a look if you are parenting teenagers or young adults. You may connect to some of the things that I've written there. But today, here, I am going to talk a little bit about hormone therapy. So I started on therapy about a month ago, and have experienced a few different things that I thought I would share with you. So the first one is, well, let me go back and explain. So my family doctor was not in a hurry to put me on hormone therapy, partially because I still have my periods, and secondly because she didn't feel that it was going to really help with the symptoms that I have been feeling. Many people, I guess, have huge hot flashes and night sweats as their main symptoms. I don't get night sweats at all, actually, but I run a little bit hot, I would say, and definitely have some moments of hot flashes, but not like other people do. Then there's brain fog, which I'm sure I'm experiencing a little bit, but because I have dyslexia and learning disabilities and other things, it's sort of hard to tell how much that's affecting me at any given moment. Like, I forget words anyway and have spelling mistakes and homonym switches and other things in my writing normally, so hard to tell. But for me, it's really about joint pain. I've always struggled with the hips, not always. I've always struggled with my low back since I was a teenager. Then, after, I think, carrying excess weight for so long, my hips got injured when I was working out with a personal trainer, and then overcompensating, my knees started hurting. Then I think again from carrying too much weight, I ended up with plantar fasciitis for a long time, like over 2 years, and some foot pain and other things. Always attributed that to being heavy. But in the last year, I have experienced, 2 years, let's say, I have experienced more elbow pain, like golfer's elbow or tennis elbow, different types of things there, which affect like even my arms up into here. And this left shoulder is definitely, it can still do lots of things, but like when I'm dancing and stuff, I can feel it. Like when I'm rotating and doing certain things, it definitely doesn't want to do everything. And I really feel it mostly when I'm sleeping, if I'm wanting to lay on my arm there, that this is not 100% for sure. And then my jaw. So those I can't really attribute to excess weight, and I haven't really done anything in particular that would affect them to the degree they're being affected. So in my mind, that was definitely a perimenopause effect. So when I went to see Dr. Bishop, who's a bariatric specialist, one of the very first things that came out of his mouth when he heard my age was asking if I was taking HRT, or the hormone replacement therapy. And I was not, and I had a little conversation. And right away, that's one thing he wanted me to get on, just for prevention of, I believe, bone loss, for brain fog, for risk of dementia, all these other things. I haven't done enough reading on it, or at least I don't remember what I've read, let's put it that way. And so right away, he wanted to put me on this. So he tested my hormone levels, definitely agreed that I was in the perimenopause, as he puts it, and put me on the lowest level of estradiol. I think it's estrogen gel. I requested that because the patch, like at least when I do every 6 months or so, I have to do the heart monitor. Can't think of what it's called right at this moment, but it has sticky pads, and I seem to react a lot to those sticky pads. Like I end up with a little bit of scarring for months afterwards because of the damage that it does to my skin. And so I was a little worried the estrogen patch would do that as well. He actually right away recommended the gel, and that was one of the reasons, was because a lot of people apparently can respond in that way. So I shouldn't say a lot of people. He just right away says he recommends the gel. So the first 2 weeks after using the gel every morning, I take the gel every morning, or take it. I put it on my shoulders and arms, usually up here. And then I take a progesterone oral. You have to take the two together. If you take estrogen, you have to take progesterone and keep those hormones balanced. So right away, within the first couple of weeks, what I noticed was that I was running cold. And I think because I don't have the hot flashes and stuff, or to the degree that other people do, that my temperature was definitely adjusting. And especially at nighttime when I was in bed, I was freezing. And so I was going to bed with full layers of socks, pajama pants, shirt, which normally I sleep in the nude. So it was just a big adjustment doing that. But then I would get hot in the middle of the night once my body would warm up, and then take off my clothes again. So I did just notice that I was running cold. Even when I was curling, normally I start with a sweater, and after I play about 2 or 3 ends, I'm usually sweating enough that I'm hot, and I take off my sweater and I just have a t-shirt on, which I'm the only female who plays with just a t-shirt. And so I knew that was because I was running hot, or perhaps just a little bit heavier, and so I exert energy in a different way than some of the other athlete curlers who are out there. But then last week, what was I going to say? Oh, there was 1 week there where I didn't take my sweater off, and I wondered if it was because of the hormone changes that were going on with the estrogen. But then last week I still had to take my sweater off. So I'm not 100% sure yet. It may depend on the week and how much sweeping I have to do as to how much my body regulates, but I'm just kind of keeping an eye on it to see. Now, the other big thing that happened was this week, just 3 days ago, I forgot to put the gel on. And then I wasn't feeling very good as the day progressed, but I hadn't been feeling good for a couple of days. Sort of had the runs, not 100% sure why. But then I started spotting and then got my full-on period. But I was 6 days early according to my tracker, which normally I'm never early, I'm always late if anything. So I thought that was interesting. So I went on ChatGPT and just asked if, when taking estrogen, if that was something that was normal. I knew from talking to my doctor that spotting was normal, but I hadn't considered that I would get like my full-on period earlier. In talking to my daughter, she had been on birth control pills, and she was taking one called Lolo. And from my experience, when I had taken my pills, it didn't seem to matter. You know, I could take it any time in the morning, ranging from if I woke up at 8 o'clock or noon. Didn't have any real big effect if I was off my schedule by a little bit. For her, though, if she was late by even half an hour, practically, she was starting her period. And so I was asking her, like, you know, I missed my estrogen gel. What does that mean? And she kind of was saying, well, because when you get your period, it means your estrogen is low. And so then your body is telling you, oh, this is time to shed your lining. That if you miss your birth control pill, or if you miss your estrogen gel, and especially because I'm just starting, that it could have a pretty big impact, and that was very normal, and that for the first few months that could be the case. So I do have a follow-up with my doctor at the end of the month, so it'll be interesting to see what they have to say, because now I've been told by ChatGPT anyway to track this as my period, which was 6 days early. I wonder if I will have another one in between there, and I'll just be very mindful now to be putting that gel on within the same hour at least every day as much as possible. One thing that throws a wrench into that is because some mornings I go to Aquafit and I'm not supposed to put it on if I'm going to be going swimming. I would apply it after I go swimming. So that might change the time a little bit, but hopefully my body will start to regulate that. Otherwise, from what I had been reading, the first symptoms are the hot flashes and the night sweats that it helps. So definitely that temperature regulation stuff I have been feeling already, even at the lowest doses. Then obviously it affected my period, and not like I still had cramps and back pain and that sort of a thing, but I understand that maybe in a few months it will make a slight difference. Brain fog should be next, help do some mental clearing up if I'm having any of those sort of symptoms. And then the third one, it takes a lot longer, is for the joint pain. And so I'm waiting to see, probably for 3 months. So I'm putting myself at about spring break to see if I notice any difference at all in how my joints are feeling. Now the tough part with taking hormone therapy is, for me, is that I'm also taking a GLP-1, which I've also started recently within the last 4 months. So I am down, well, a total of 30 pounds now, yay, from when I retired, which was almost, well, 2.5 years ago. And so from the GLP-1, I'm down about 15 extra pounds. And there's certain things like nausea and other things that you can feel with the GLP-1 as well. Now, where was I going with this? Was, how do I know what is affected from the GLP-1 and how is affected from the hormone therapy? And so putting the two together, I'm really hoping that once everything gets sort of regulated, that it's going to be the best bang for my buck sort of idea. I am very happy with my husband's insurance plan because it is paying for both my hormone therapy and my GLP-1, which I think is very rare. And so I'm feeling very blessed right now, and I hope he continues to work for a little while so that works. Once he retires, we'll definitely have to be looking into a new insurance plan and what's all going to come down the pipe from that. Anyway, so yeah, I just want to say, hang in there, ladies. There's things that we can be doing and trying, and I know it's not affordable for everybody, and if you don't have insurance, it would definitely be a no-go. So like I said, I'm feeling very blessed. If it's something you think you might be insured for and you're looking into it, I would say go for it. The hormone therapy, I'm still in the midst of figuring all out, but I wanted to share what symptoms I have felt so far, so you can let me know if you relate or not, if you've been having the same issues, if you're taking both. I'm taking Zepbound and the estrogen and what that combination is doing to you. And yeah, I don't know. I just want to see how everybody's doing out there and let you know. So, rambling now, I will sign off. So, Laura Learns out.